All right. I'm just right on time, so I'm going to give it like 2 more minutes for everybody to check in. Good morning. So I just posted in the comments what you will need for today. And if you would like to have some music in the background, you can always go to Spotify. Of course, you can use your own music app, but if you would like to have a suggestion, then you can always go to Spotify, find my name, Valerie Russo, and then there are a couple of Vinyasa lists there, so you can just use them. Hi Jasper. Good to have you. Alright. Ik hoop dat het gelukt is, mama, dat je meedoet. So for today, just a blanket will suffice, but also if you have like a big scarf near you, then please go get it. If you don't have one like this, that's not a problem. You will be fine. But it's like a little extra for this class, so it's totally up to you. And then, as always, a block or a book in the front of the mat is also a nice extra or nice help. So when you already are here, then you can come and sit in a Sukhasana or Siddhasana, a cross-legged position of your choice, finding the connection with the sitting bones and the floor. So you can always broaden the sitting bones by pulling the flesh of your bum to the side. Voila. And then just give yourself some time to check in this sitting position, to arrive in your space that you set up for today on your mat and in your body. So we can already start to roll the shoulders together and then take a couple of in-breaths through the nose and then just sighing out through the mouth. So if you just checked in, then just find a comfortable seat. We're going to start the class now. Comfortable seat on your sitting bones. We are just already rolling the shoulders and taking a couple of deep in and out breaths. So you can just join us here. Today we will work a little bit around this area, the hip area, the pelvis area. So we're going to stretch it a little bit, to open it up a little bit, to find some extra space there. So let's see how it goes. All right, and then first we're going to take our big scarf, if you have it, if you found one, and just wrap it around your rib cage. All right, so make sure it's not too tight, because we still want to be able to breathe, but you have to feel the resistance a little bit. So you feel the fabric, you feel that you tightened something around the rib cage. So, of course, like every class until now, we're starting with the yang practice, so we're starting with the more active part of the class. So we're going to breathe into the rib cage, into the upper part of the body. So you breathe into your scarf, you breathe into that fabric. First, breathe all the air out, breathing out, breathing out, breathing out. And then taking a deep in-breath into that rib cage, into that scarf. And then breathing out is just loosening that fabric a little bit more again. All right, breathing in, tightening it. And then breathing out, loosening it. Keep going. Breathing through your nose, in and out if you can, if it's possible. And if you know Ujjayi breathing or ocean breath, then you can always apply. Closing the eyes is a nice option, just to check in and to center in that body. Try to make your breath even a little bit more bigger, a little bit more fuller and longer. And then trying to make the in and the out breath equally long. Shoulders are relaxed, your face is relaxed. Especially this point where we tend to make a frown, just don't make the frown. Loose, relaxed, happy face. Just a couple more rounds. And very gently opening the eyes, breathing out here. You can keep the scarf, yeah? And then just stretch out the legs in front of you and give them a little bit of a shake. And then we're going to start with a butterfly position. Butterfly is feet against each other. So the soles of the feet are pressed against each other. Making sure you're still sitting on your sitting bones, and then have the hands behind you so you can roll a little bit more on those sitting bones and find a little bit more length and space in the front of the body. Still breathing into your scarf, still breathing into your rib cage. All right, first we're going to press the soles of the feet together. So it's actively pressing the feet together. So breathing in, pressing, 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 and then breathing out is relaxing. 2 more times. Breathing in, pressing, 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 pressing. Breathing out, relaxing. 1 more time. Breathing in, pressing the soles of the feet as hard as you can together. And then breathing out, release. If you feel you can sit on your sitting bones without having the hands behind you, then sit on your sitting bones. And maybe you just hang a tiny bit more forward. You don't have to go for your maximum. We're just still opening this area, so be gentle. Just hang a little bit more forward. If it's not possible, then you just keep the hands behind you. All right, so see what is possible. Just breathing into your scarf. Still breathing into your scarf. Long, deep in and out breaths. Just 1 more breath here. And breathing out is just letting go, breathing and coming back on your sitting bones. And then we bring the feet mat distance. So probably you're here on the mat, and so your feet are mat distance. I'm here so you can have a better view. You can still keep the scarf. And first we're going to have the hands behind us again, like we did in butterfly. So still pressing your hands into the floor behind you, pushing your sitting bones into the floor and lift the front of the body. So gaining a little bit more space there. And then we're just going to swing the knees from the left to the right side. Yeah, and it's just very gentle, relaxed. You try not to force anything here. It's just swaying the knees from the left to the right side. But making sure you're still finding that space into the front of the body. All right, now let's do this without the hands. So first, find your windshield, finding the feet as wide as your mat, and then you lift your hands forward, still pressing your sitting bones into the floor. All right, so now we have core that is more involved. So breathing into the scarf, breathing in, lengthening, and then breathing out, knees to the left side. Breathing in, coming to center, lifting chest a little bit more, and then breathing out, knees to the right side. Breathing in, lifting, breathing out, left side. Breathing in, lifting, breathing out, right side. Nice. Breathing in. Legs back up, bring your hands behind you, and then sway the legs to the back, to hands and knees. Still keeping the scarf. So if you feel like it has loosened a little bit, then just make it a little bit more tight again. Cat and cow to loosen up the spine a little bit. So your hands underneath the shoulders, your knees underneath the hips. And then give yourself a sway in the hips from the left to the right side. So remember those long, deep in and out breaths into your ribcage, into your scarf. It's still there. All right, coming to center, breathing out, engaging your core a little bit, and then breathing and lifting your chest and your tailbone, looking forward and up. And then breathing out, pressing hands, lower legs into the floor, rounding the back, looking towards your belly. Breathing in again, hollowing the spine, lifting chest and tailbone. And then breathing out, rounding the back. 2 more times. Breathing in, hollowing, but keep your navel point engaged. And then breathing out, rounding. Just one more time, breathing in and breathing out. All right, and then find your way to center. So come and sit down, loosen the scarf, and then just put it aside. We will use it later, but not for now, so you can just put it aside. So keeping that breath, of course, into the ribcage. Maybe you can still feel the scarf against the ribcage. So breathing into that imaginary scarf. All right, we're going to bring on the in-breath your left leg to the back, left leg to the back, and your foot is flexed. On the out-breath, you bring your knee to the side, open up that hip all the way towards the breastbone, rounding the back. And on the in-breath, the foot goes back to the back, lengthening. Breathing out, knee to the side, open up all the way to the chest, rounding. And then breathing in is lengthening, crown of the head away from your back heel. Breathing out, open your knee to the chest, rounding. And then breathing in, lengthening. Just one more time, last one. Breathing out. And breathing in. All right, we go for the other side. So left knee down, right foot to the back. Breathing in first, breathing in length. And then breathing out, knee to the side. Let's open up. Bring your knee to the center, rounding the back. And then breathing in, stretching. Keep going. Breathing out. Make sure you're not hanging to the left side, keeping your center as much as you can. And then breathing in. 2 more times. Breathing in. Equal pressure on both hands. Breathing in. Breathing out. Open up. Rounding. And then breathing in. All right, breathing out, knee down. Wiggle your tail from the left to the right side. Just loosening up your left wrist. Give it a little bit of a shake. Preparing for the first downward facing dog. And then same thing on the right side. All right, we are ready. Hands, your feet into the floor. Hands into the floor. Breathing in length into your spine. Crown of the head away from your tailbone. And then breathing out. Press the weight to the back, into the feet, and then up towards the sky, towards the wall behind you. And then walk it out. Walking the dog. So walking the dog is bending your knees one by one. And it's not only bending the knees, but you can give yourself a sway in the hips. Maybe you just want to loosen the neck here a little bit. So it's like freestyle dog, just walking it in. It's still morning, it's a morning class. I just guess it will be your first downward facing dog of today, so just keep it gentle. Remember that scarf. Remember that breath into the rib cage. Still doing it. All right. And then find your downward facing dog. Look at your hands. Make sure your fingers are firmly pressed into the floor and you're not standing on your wrists only. And then bringing length into your spine. So remember, you can always bend your knees. And then focus on the spine and the length in the spine. And then you focus on the legs. So not the other way around. Not being here, but being here. Just one more breath. Pressing the weight into the feet, into the back of the body. Yeah, and then breathing out here. Breathing, walking your feet forward, in between your hands. Breathing out, belly to the upper leg. So again, maybe you're bending your legs. Breathing and looking up, creating length in your spine, looking forward. Maybe you meet your block. And then breathing out, belly to the upper legs again. Breathing in Ardha Uttanasana. And breathing out, Uttanasana. Breathing, coming all the way up. Super strong legs, strong core. Reaching for the ceiling. Breathing out, hands next to the body. All right, breathing and take your arms up, keeping your navel engaged. Breathing out with a straight spine all the way back, forward and down. Breathing in, looking up, creating length in your spine. Breathing out your right foot with control all the way to the back of your mat. And then stay there. All right, you can have your left foot a little bit more to the left side if you feel like there is totally no balance there. But your left foot is pressed firmly in the floor and you're reaching the back heel to the back. Now, you can choose either keeping your fingertips on the floor or maybe you're reaching your hands forward. So finding the maximum of length in between your fingertips and the back heel. Super engaged legs here. Hugging your hips together. All right, one more breath. On the out breath, very gently, hands down, breathing in, high plank, left foot next to the right foot, and then breathing out with or without the knees, all the way down on your belly. Pressing your feet, your legs into the floor, breathing in cobra position. Be careful for the neck. Not doing this, being here. Taking an extra breath here. Breathing out, breathing in, hands and knees. Tuck your toes in the floor. Breathing out, downward facing dog. One extra breath here. Breathing out here, breathing in, walk your feet back to the front side edge of the mat, in between your hands. Breathing out, belly meeting your ribcage. And then breathing in, looking up, forward and up. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. And then breathing out all the way back down to Uttanasana. Breathing in, coming all the way up, finding your length, maximum of length, and then breathing out, Tadasana. Breathing in, stretching it out, breathing out, forward fold with a straight spine. So maybe bending your knees here. Breathing in, looking up, creating length. Breathing out, Uttanasana again. Breathing in, looking up. Breathing out this time, the left foot all the way to the back. As much as you can. Make sure your right knee is not over the right ankle like this, but it's in line or a little bit more to the back. All right, so you choose either staying here, fingertips on the floor, keep squeezing your thighs together, your hips together, or maybe you're lifting your hands forward and you're reaching the crown of the head away from your back heel. Are you still breathing into your imaginary scarf? Very important. All right, breathing out, hands down, breathing in high plank, breathing out with or without these all the way down on your belly, breathing in cobra with a long, long neck, and then breathing out, downward facing dog. And adjusting the feet if necessary. If you don't feel like doing a down dog, then just go for child's pose. We are staying here for 2 more breaths. So being here, or here. If you are in child's pose and you wish to join us again, then go back to your downward facing dog. First, breathing out here, heels towards the floor. Breathing in, taking the right leg as high as you can towards the back. So stretching out that leg. Yeah, so reaching the heel away from your fingertips. We're going to open the hip. So your right hip on top of the left hip. Then you bend your knee and flex your foot. Push your heel to the back. And then your hips, push them to the right side edge of the mat. So you press the hips forward. Opening up a little bit more there. Still breathing. On your out breath, like a big swing with your knee towards the chest. And then your right foot in between your hands. Back heel down. We're making ourselves ready for Virabhadrasana 2. So pressing both feet into the floor, breathing out here, breathing in, big windmill, up, 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 up. And then breathing out, landing in your Virabhadrasana 2. Je krijgt er 2. Now, in Virabhadrasana 2, we have the tendency to be a little bit more here. Yeah? To not make the hips leveled. So for today, we're going to extra pay attention to it. So have your hands in your waist. Come out of your front leg a little bit. And level your hips. So you can actually just feel your ilium, your heupvleugeltjes, and there you can put your hands on. So you can press them actually a little bit more down, gaining a little bit more space in the lower back even. From there, keeping the hips leveled, bending your front knee, not being here, but being here. And then you feel an extra stretch in the left leg. So, reaching the hands forward, breathing out here. Maybe you can sink a little bit lower. And then breathing in, stretching, reaching to the ceiling. Breathing out, think about the hands pressing, the hips leveled. And then breathing in, coming back up, stretching the front leg, and then breathing out. Nice. Just one more time. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, reaching forward as much as you can. Breathing out, stretching the front leg, and just land your right hand wherever it lands. It's fine. Stretching the leg, but not overstretching the leg. So keeping that leg engaged. Breathing in, lifting the left arm up, arriving in Trikonasana. A stretch for the left side of the body and the inside of the right leg. Staying there. So it can be perfectly here, yeah, or here. Breathing out here, looking at your right big toe, breathing in, come all the way back up. Breathing out, back to our warrior two. Breathing in, big windmill to the front edge of the mat. Back toes into the floor and then high plank. Breathing out with or without knees all the way down, or maybe a chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. And breathing out, downward facing dog. One breath. Breathing in is lengthening your spine. Breathing out is finding extra length in the legs. Breathing in, lifting the left leg all the way up. Again, we're going to open that hip. So, left hip on top of the right hip. Bend your knee, flex your foot, and press that heel to the back. Now press your hips forward to the left side edge of the mat. Pressing both hands equally into the floor. Keep breathing. On the out breath, a big swing with your knee towards the left hand and towards the core, and then your left foot in between your hands. Of course, it can always help. Be careful. Right heel down, setting up for Virabhadrasana 2. Breathing in, breathing out, settling in. So remember, come out of it a little bit, leveling the hips and then sink back down. Breathing out here first. Breathing in, stretching front leg. Bring your hands together, look at your thumbs maybe, and then breathing out, Virabhadrasana 2. Breathing in, strong legs, breathing out. One more time. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, reaching forward as much as you can. Breathing out, straightening your front leg. Breathing in, open up to the right side edge of your mat. So remember, not forcing it. You can be here. Or maybe if you feel like you can go lower, then go lower. You're your own teacher now. I cannot see you. Just remember that. Just try to do what feels good and fine for your body at this moment. Breathing out, looking at your left big toe. Breathing in, come back up, strong legs. And then breathing out, Virabhadrasana 2. Breathing in, big windmill. Going for high plank. And then breathing out very slowly, all the way down to chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. And then breathing out, downward facing dog or child's pose. You choose. Giving ourselves 2 breaths here. If you are in child's pose and you wish to join us again, then just find your downward facing dog. We are here waiting for you to join us again. All right, breathing out here. Bending your knees, looking forward and step or jump to the front edge of the mat. Breathing in, look up to create length in your spine. Breathing out, forward fold to Uttanasana. Breathing in, coming all the way up, strong belly, strong legs. Reaching for the ceiling, and then breathing out. Relax. Stay here. I'm going to be moving, but you can stay perfectly there. So, have your hands against your rib cage. Remember that scarf. Relax your shoulders. Breathe into your hands. Feeling your heartbeat. Probably it's higher than in the beginning of the class. Maybe the breath has shortened a little bit. So now it's time just to rebuild that strong and long breathing. Two more rounds. And then just release. Balance. So if you're really bad at balance and you have to find a wall, then go to a wall nearby. If you're fine, then just stay where you are. Hands into your waist. Your weight is going to be into the left foot. So the left leg will be the standing leg. So strong leg. And then the right knee comes up. And then you just grab your knee here. And then see if you can bring that knee even a little bit higher. Now the challenge here is not to be here, but to find the length in your leg and find the length in the rest of the body. So also the spine is spacious and long, and you're lifting the crown of the head towards the ceiling. All right. We're going to add something. We're going to bring the knee to the right side. So we're going to open that hip. So breathing in here and then breathing out is bring your knee to the side, keeping your balance. Stay here. Keep breathing. If you want to have an extra challenge, then just change your drishti. Drishti is our focus point, the point where we're looking at. So if you feel super balanced today, now look to the left side away from your knee. Tricky, right? If you feel uber balanced, then just close your eyes. Just check it out. Drishti, very important in a yoga practice. All right, breathing out here first, breathing in, taking that knee back to center, and then breathing out, release, giving a shake into the legs. Other side, so your right foot into the floor, pressing it into the floor. Left knee up, catching that knee, thinking about lengthening, lifting the crown of the head, breathing. All right, on your out breath, your next out breath, you bring that knee to the left side. This side can feel totally different. All right, if you feel balanced and look away from your knee, keep breathing. Don't panic. Don't panic. Just keep breathing. Stay calm. Have confidence. And then breathing out, bring your knee back to center. Foot down. Give them a shake. All right. Feet together or hip distance. Feet together, big toes together, heels a tiny bit apart. Breathing out here. Breathing in, take your arms up. Keep your belly engaged. Breathing out, forward fold to Uttanasana. Breathing in, looking up to create length. Breathing out, we're stepping to downward facing dog. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing with the open hips. So breathing out here first. Breathing in, lifting the right leg all the way up. Let's open that hip, bend your knee. So remember, pushing your hips a little bit more to the right side edge of the mat. Keeping equal pressure in both hands. With a big swing, breathing out, right knee towards your right upper arm and then towards the core, right foot in between your hands. Bring your hands on the inside of your right foot a little bit more to the right side, and then we bring the back knee down, releasing your toes. So here a little bit of hip opening. So we try to release the hips, the pelvis towards the earth. Yeah, so maybe it's not the most comfortable stretch, not for the left or the right side, but try to release it, even when it feels really uncomfortable. For some of you, it will feel really comfortable, so just enjoy. Yeah? You can give yourself a sway from the left to the right side, just checking in, like, how does it feel? How is my left side? How is my right side? Can I let go a little bit more? And then just giving ourselves 2 more breaths here. All right. Now, tucking your back toes into the floor, straightening the back leg again. Either you're staying here Or maybe you can try to stretch out the front leg as much as you can. But your hips, your right hip goes to the back and your left hip goes to the front. So you're squaring the hips. Okay, staying super high into your left toes. Maybe the right hand goes to the outside of your leg for a second and you can just kiss your right leg there. All right, and then very slowly, very gently, you bend the front knee again, looking forward, lifting your chest. One more time, breathing in as much as you can. Maybe you're staying here. You're stretching the front leg, looking to your back toes. And then go back on the out breath to your lower pose. Just one more time. Breathing in, stretching the front leg as much as you can, leveling the hips, and then breathing out, going back forward, lifting your chest. Now, we go to the back just for a tiny bit. We bend into the left knee, shifting the weight to the back, then go a little bit more into the right foot again, so there's a little bit of swaying here, a little bit of swinging, and then what we're going to try to do is swinging the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Chup, like this. Malasana. Options being here or here. If you're here, again, it's all about keeping that length into the spine. So not being here uncomfortable, being here as much as you can, being comfortable. But you can also be here. So either here, straight spine, or here with a straight spine. All right, now settle in your malasana, your garland pose, hip opener. Breathing out here. Breathing in, pressing your feet into the floor, coming all the way up, strong belly, reaching your hands to the ceiling, and then breathing out with a straight spine. Go back to your malasana, this one or this one. One more time. Breathing in, coming all the way up, stretching it out, and then breathing out, malasana. If you're in a higher malasana, then use your hands to safely come and sit down. But if you're here, then we find the most comfortable position, Navasana. Navasana is a core strengthener, but also a psoas strengthener, which is a muscle in the hip, in the pelvis. So either catching your shins, lifting your chest, reaching the crown of the head away from your tailbone. If you're here, you are able to still breathe and you want to take it further, then maybe you're releasing your feet, your legs, or maybe you find a 90-degree angle, but keep your knees together, or maybe straightening the legs. Your navel is in, close to the body. Now, we're going to cross the ankles, and on the in-breath, we come up to standing. All right, and then we uncross. I hope it's okay. I hope you found your way back up. All right, go for the other side, breathing out, breathing and lifting. Breathing out, forward fold to Uttanasana with a straight spine. Breathing and looking up to create length. If you want to do a Vinyasa, do a Vinyasa. But otherwise, just walk yourself back to downward facing dog. Finding that length into the spine and then into the legs. All right. We are here. Breathing out. Breathing and lifting the left leg all the way up. Open that hip, your left knee on top of the right, your left hip on top of the right hip. And then push your hips to the left side more. So do this a little bit more. Opening up that left side body. With a big swing on the out breath. Knee to the outside of your left arm, to the chest, and then left foot down. Wiggle your right foot to the back, knee down, and bring your hands on the inside of your left foot. So you're going to wiggle that left foot a little bit more to the left side. Going back for heaviness. Heaviness and surrendering of the pelvis towards the earth. Okay, you can give yourself a little bit of a sway from the left to the right side. Just checking in with what this pose means for you, for your body at this moment. Does it feel okay? Is it like suffering here? Whatever the answer is, it's fine. It is what it is. Just keep breathing. All right. From there, tucking back toes into the floor, lifting your knees, stretching that leg. You can stay here or you can play with stretching the left leg as much as you can. Bring your left hip to the back, your right hip forward. If you want to give yourself a kiss, go for it. Voila, thank you, body, for doing all these amazing things. And then breathing out is bending your knee again, looking forward, lifting chest. Breathing and stretching that leg again, looking to the back. You can keep your heel high. And then breathing out, bending front knee, looking forward, lifting chest. One more time, breathing in. And breathing out. So again, we're going to shift the weight from the back to the front, from the back to the front, until we can swing that right foot next to the outside of our right hand. Coming to your malasana, this one or this one. Staying here for 2 breaths. If you're here, you can use the resistance of upper arm and inside of the legs to find a little bit more length into the spine. So there's like this squeezing a little bit more. All right, breathing out here first. If you know Mula Bandha, pelvic floor muscles, give them a squeeze as well. Breathing out here, breathing in, lifting, lengthening. And then breathing out, finding Malasana again. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, take your arms forward and then as elegantly as you can, you come and sit down for your Navasana. Your variation, this one, this one, this one, or this one. As long as you're still able to breathe and smile. Very important. Thinking about that relaxed face. All right. Cross the ankles the other way. And on the in-breath, we come back up to standing. Breathing out, uncross and relax. All right. So you can stay here. I'm going to turn to you again. We're going to go back for a balance, but it's also like a front opener and a quad opener. So shifting the weight back to the left foot, hugging the muscles of the left knee close to the bone. So you can have a very stable leg there. And then we're going to catch the right ankle behind us. Now your knees together. So squeeze your knees together and then squeeze the pelvis forward. So not being here, but being here. And then you feel a nice stretch. So knees together, bring your hips more forward. Left hand can join. Keep breathing. Just one more breath. And then breathing out, releasing. Maybe you feel a difference between left and right sides. Just give yourself a quick check-in. Same thing on the other side. So right knee super engaged, catching your left ankle, knees together, hips forward, pelvis forward, like tailbone under. All right, and maybe your right hand can join. Just keep breathing. All right, and then breathing out, release. Come to the front edge of the mat. Roll your shoulders to the back. Breathing in, take your arms up. Breathing out, forward fold to Uttanasana. Breathing in, looking up to create length. Breathing out, Vinyasa or stepping to downward facing dog. You choose. We will wait for you in downward facing dog. All right, breathing out here, breathing in, take your right leg all the way up. Thinking about opening that hip again for the last time. Your hips going, your pelvis going to the right side edge of the mat. So bring that more to the right side edge of the mat. And you keep your right foot. It's going to press to the back. All right, breathing out, big swing. Knee to the outside of your right arm, towards your chest, and then right foot in between your hands. Turn your feet to the left side edge of the mat. And then feet are going to be out. Out, out. Now, on the out breath, bending into your left knee, And straightening that right leg as much as you can, Skandasana. But press your foot into the floor. Yeah? On the in-breath, we come back up, but not like this, not all the way up, but we come to the center. All right, so you feel, the hip. Yes, we're opening it. And then breathing out, bending more into your right knee, stretching as much as you can into the left leg. Breathing in, coming back to center. Breathing out, left side. Breathing in, center. Breathing out, right side. Breathing in, center. And then bring your feet, your left foot to the back end of the mat and your right toes into the mat. Pushing left foot up, up, up towards the ceiling. Go back for your downward facing dog with this hip opener. So this time, bringing your hips more to the left side edge of the mat. I mean, this is then the right side edge of the mat. So, all right, breathing out, big swing with the left knee to the outside of your left arm. And then to the chest, left foot down. Back for Skandasana. So feet out, come to the center first. Breathing out, right side. Breathing in center, breathing out left side. Breathing in center, breathing out right side. Breathing in center, breathing out left side. Breathing in center, turn back to the front edge of the mat, back toes into the floor, high planking. All right, breathing out with or without the knees, all the way down on your belly. And just give yourself a break. Hands on top of each other, forehead on the hands, and give yourself a wiggle in the hips. And maybe just a big sigh out through your mouth. Checking in with how you are feeling or doing at this moment. How is the heart rate doing? How is the breath doing? How is the mind doing? Is it happy to be here? Or are you already somewhere else? Who knows? All right. Last effort. We're going for a cobra position. So you're bringing your hands alongside your rib cage. Roll your shoulders to the back and down. Pressing your feet into the floor. So pressing your feet into the floor will make the knees come off the floor. We want to have super engaged legs when we go for cobra. Breathing out here, engaging belly a little bit more, and then breathing in. Like first, finding length in your neck. Roll your shoulders to the back and down and lift to cobra. You don't have to go too high. Please don't. So you can be perfectly here. Focusing on pushing, legs down, finding that length, and then the back muscles are working anyway. If you're higher and you're here, also fine, but we're going to stay here for 3 more breaths. Just keep that in mind. It's a lot of work. So remember that scarf around your rib cage. Still breathing into that rib cage. All right, keep going. Just 1 more big breath here. And then breathing out, very gently releasing hands on top of each other and give yourself a wiggle. Well done. Just relax here for a moment. And relaxing, it can help you to lower the heart rate a little bit faster if you're taking a deep in-breath through your nose and then just a big sigh out through your mouth. So if you do that a couple of times, you'll feel that body is relaxing a little bit faster because breathing out is relaxing. It's letting go. It's whatever you don't need anymore, it's gone. All right. So just a couple more breaths here. And then we bring our hands underneath the shoulders. On the in-breath, you come back to hands and knees. And then just find yourself a seat on your heels. So the next position will be sleeping swan, or this pigeon pose. So here a block or a blanket can be handy. depending on where we end up. So maybe already grab your block or a blanket and bring it close to you. So we're going to start in hands and knees. And then you just slide your right knee to the outside of your right wrist. Right knee outside of your right wrist. And then there's going to be a 45-degree angle in your lower leg. So the right toes are pointing to the left side edge. Yeah? And your foot is long, in line with the lower leg. Now, tucking your back toes in the floor and then walk them out to the back, to the back, to the back. And then you're lowering pelvis down. Now, of course, this is not going to be the case for everybody. Yeah? So some of you will feel like, okay, this is my maximum for today, and then we can use a block. Yeah, because it's important that you find a position where you can release in, that you don't feel like, okay, here I have to hold this pose. That's not what we are going to go for, because we are going to the yin positions. Now, even that is for some of you probably not the case. So what you can do is you can always bend your left knee and go for more of a scissor position and then be here. This is also possible, especially when you're having problems with the back knee. Now, if you are a little bit more open in that area, then maybe you don't need props. You can be here. If you don't feel anything happening, then you can even walk your foot forward. Bring that lower leg in line with the front line of the mat, but then you flex the foot just to make sure your right knee is safe. And then be here. Yeah. So don't be here, holidaying towards the right side, but also here we want to have the hips leveled. So finding your position. I wish I could see you. I wish I could help you, but I cannot. So I hope I explained it well and that you find your sleeping swan. Sleeping swan, because once you find your position, you just walk yourself forward and down. And you can be here, you can be on a pillow, or you can be here. So make sure you're not feeling anything in the knees. If you feel anything in the knees, then slowly come out and find a different setup, a different option, a different variation. What we're going for most of us, is a stretch on the thigh, the outside of your thigh, and even your bill, your buttock, your bum. But some of you will feel it more on the inside of the leg. That's also nice. Huh? Or more here in the front of the left leg. So this is a very, like every position is very personal, but here try to check in with what you're feeling, what this pose is meaning for your body. And remember, it's yin pose. Relax into that area, especially into this area, because that's the area where we are working on. But also like keep the breath going. Make sure you can release a little bit more on every out breath. Even when it's very uncomfortable, try to sit in that uncomfortable position and accept that position. Just remember that what you're feeling is like something is happening to your body. You're changing something in your body, and that's why you're doing this. Yeah. And change is not always comfortable. That's the way it is. All right. Going to give ourselves one more minute here, and I'm going to be silent. All right, and I will talk you back out. So you just enjoy the silence and stay close to yourself and work on the pose just by letting go and by stay breathing. Just a couple more breaths here. You can make them a little bit bigger. Or maybe a couple sigh outs through your mouth. Now, to come out of this position, we're going to use an in-breath and our hands, and we move very slowly, very slowly. So, bring your back toes into the floor, walk your knee back forward underneath your left hip, and then release your right leg. All right, and this can feel very fierce. So do whatever you feel like you have to do. Just follow your intuition. If it's moving, it's moving. If you want to take a child's pose, take a child's pose. If you go back to a downward facing dog, it's totally up to you. But make sure you're just like doing what feels best at this moment. And then, of course, we go to the other side. So we are preparing, if you feel ready, for the left side. So sliding your left knee to the outside of your left wrists. And then remembering that 45-degree angle in your lower leg of the left leg. Length into your foot, so your foot is in line with your lower leg. Then, tucking your back toes in the floor, sliding that leg as much as you can to the back. Remember, you can scissor, so bending your back knee, being here. Or you can slide a prop, book, block, blanket underneath that left thigh there. If you have connection with the floor on the left thigh, you probably won't need anything. Maybe you're sliding that lower leg to the front edge of the mat, flexing the foot, important for the knee. But then not hanging on the left side, but finding the hips squared. So for me, it's impossible, but I try to demonstrate. So I'm going to go for the 45-degree angle. All right. Making sure you're not feeling anything in your knees. If you do, then slowly come out and find a different variation. All right. I'm going to stay here for 2 more minutes and I will talk you back out. But now I just want you to enjoy some silence and having the opportunity to stay close to yourself. Giving yourself just a couple more breaths here. If you need a big sigh out through your mouth, you just go for it. All right, to come out, you walk yourself a little bit more up, tuck your back toes in the floor, and then just walk that knee back closer. Move very slowly. Yeah, it can be pretty fierce, so just be careful. And then the left knee underneath the left hip, and again, you move however you feel like moving. Follow your intuition, that's always the best idea. So whatever you feel like doing, just do it. There is no right or wrong. All right, and then you cross the ankles behind you and roll to the back. Feet forward. Without using the hands, walk your feet till the front edge of the mat. And then stay there. Now, for the next one, remember the big scarf. Just bring it around your waist and tie a knot in it. But like make the biggest circle possible, the biggest loop possible. If you don't have a scarf, then just forget about it, yeah? You don't need it. Butterfly, like in the beginning, butterfly. But this time, try to wrap your scarf around your feet and then here into like above your hip bone, yeah? So, we're going for a Supta Baddha Konasana. So, when you're having your feet into your scarf, then just find your way down on your back. If it's too much with the scarf is not long enough, then just lose it. Yeah, you don't need it. Then just let it go. But if you feel like, I feel like light traction indeed on my hip bones, and I feel like this is opening the back, my lower back, then just stay there. Now, your hands can be on your belly, or you can make like a T shape, a cactus shape with your arms. And then just stay there, closing the eyes. Going for heaviness and softness in the body. So gravity is taking over. You don't have to do anything here. You can just go for a belly breath. Now, if you have the scarf and you feel the fabric against your lower back and the inside of your groins, then imagine breathing towards your scarf again, breathing into that lower back, breathing into those groins, and then just breathing in is like finding lightness and space in that area, and then breathing out is just releasing a little bit more there. And then remembering to just lengthen your neck a little bit more. You can always help yourself with the hands and then just let go, going back for relaxation. Again, this can feel uncomfortable in the inside of your legs and your groins. Embrace that uncomfortableness, even if that's a word, I don't know. But just stay there and try to accept it. Just know that this means change for the body. And giving yourself just a couple more breaths here. And first, fully breathing out, and then bring your hands to the outside of your legs. Release your feet from the scarf, and then bring your knees together. So feet as wide as your mat, knees together. So opposite movement for the hips and the groins. And walking your feet hip distance. If you have the scarf, then just slide it away. You don't need it anymore. Going back for a windshield twist to end with. So your feet are mat distance. And you just relax your knees to the right side first. You can roll the head from the left side. I think we also used this twist last week, yeah? So it's a really nice one. You can keep it very gentle and soft like this, or you can go for a like more fierce pose, and then you just bring your right foot on top of your left leg. But if you feel like this is too much, then please don't do it. Just keep that stillness in the body. And breathing in your knees back up, breathing out knees to the left side. You can roll the head to the right side, just a couple of breaths here. Option to have the foot on the left leg, right leg, but you don't have to at all. Breathing out here, breathing your knees back to center. Bring your knees to the chest. Bring that extra length into your neck, and then just give yourself a roll from the left to the right side. So if you're having lower back issues, then maybe you stay a little while longer here. You can also make a little bit of circles with your knees, and then you're massaging your lower back. So if this feels very nice for you at this moment, then just please do this a little while longer. Also for Shavasana, if you feel ready and you're still having the sensitivity in the lower back, feet mat distance and resting your knees together. If lower back is fine, then just go for your Shavasana. Hands on the belly, maybe next to the body, palms facing up. If you feel like you want to be here, then just stay there. So do what feels most relaxing for you at this moment. So in Shavasana, again, the length in your neck, the broad shoulders, the length in the lower back, and then just let the feet fall away from each other. If you're having the hands next to you, turn them open towards the ceiling, which is more receptive, more giving. And then close the eyes there. If you're laying down, then take a deep in-breath through your nose, fully breathing out through your mouth. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. And then just enjoy your Shavasana, your sweet doing nothing. And this is the most important pose in yoga. It's where everything just settles in. Whatever you did, it's now has the time to settle in the body. So you can take the benefits with you and grow from there. Feeling the connection to your mat, to the floor. Just allowing that heaviness a little bit more and that gravity win here. There is absolutely nothing left to do. And of course, you can stay here as long as you want to, as long as you feel you need at this moment. If you come out very slowly and gently. If you're already out of your Shavasana and sitting again in your cross-legged position, joining me, again, you don't have to. Don't rush it. Then we can say goodbye together. Just rubbing your palms together really hard so you create heat in between your hands. Like a little bit faster there. Yeah. And then just bring your hands over the eyes. And then open the eyes. Very slowly. You're lowering down the hands, looking at the inside of your hands. Maybe you're discovering something you've never seen before. And then bring your hands together in front of the heart. Breathing in extra space and length into the body. Breathing out, bowing your head towards the hands. Giving thanks to yourself for being here, because the whole practice is very difficult. Yeah, that is so. It's really hard to just keep going. So enjoy your Easter weekend. Probably it's going to be different than you planned or hoped, but when you follow the class, you're probably healthy and safe. So enjoy that, and so enjoy the summer, enjoy the sun, I want to say, enjoy the warmth, and I hope some people around you maybe. Would love to see you next week. Probably not next week, there's going to be another class. Would love to see you then. So I would just want to say namaste. Enjoy your weekend. And remember, if you like this class, you're very free to make donations. but you totally don't have to. It's totally up to you. Thank you for joining. If you have any comments, remarks, then just leave them there. I'm really, really like eager to know what you guys experienced. So bye bye.